to do even 10,000 steps a day.
As long as you're wearing the watch.
Yeah, before you know it, yes.
Try it.
Because the day I checked, I saw like 2,000. I was like, but I take the stairs.
Do you maybe
How
that's
do I see
another
2,000
thing?
here?
So that's another thing. So maybe you sit a lot, so the only time you're doing that movement is when you're climbing the stairs or when you're coming down the stairs.
It's
So
not
you
enough.
sit, when you're in the office, you're literally sitting the entire. That's
I'm
another
always
thing.
on my system.
You're not
That's why I need to
it's
leverage
not
it.
advisable to sit for more than an hour at a stretch.
Wow.
Yes. So 1 hour, then move for like 2 minutes.
Last is always sitting down.
So that is what they call a sedentary lifestyle. So even if you work out in the morning, a good 1 hour, 2 hours in the gym, it's even not advisable to sit down throughout the day.
Ay.
So
Okay.
yes.
So you're making a lifestyle
I
change.
don't even
I
sit
have to
down,
be
but
cautious.
I think it's more of the pressure of high heels and walking around.
Right. Yes.
So that
Change of shoes always helps.
yes,
Yes,
you
you
know,
have to have
and
your trainers.
like I just had to see a chiropractor because I've had pains for ages now, and I just couldn't take it anymore. So that has also brought me to like recovery, like you said.
Yes,
taking
recovery.
time off the gym. But I must say I did have a bit of like withdrawal syndromes because I couldn't sleep. My alarms were still waking me up at normal time, so I would still be awake. And I'll wake up and say, "Oh,
But you can't go
what
to
should
the
we do?
gym.
you can't go to the gym. You don't want to strain the thing."
Have you
I should
ever
go
have
to
you
the gym.
explored workouts that
Like yoga?
Yes, you might benefit more from
Yeah,
them.
I think I should go back to it. But
Yes.
like we said, there's that pump overload. So I mean, it's not. I was never a workout person. I
Right.
never thought I would,
Love it.
be a gym rat kind of thing.
And you
But
became one.
I became one years now. And then now it's
It
like,
happens.
you know, now the body's telling you, okay, you need to take another shape, and it's just like, oh, but I miss all these heavy.
But let me tell you,
gra-
as a heavy lifter, there are some yoga that will put you in the same state.
Yeah.
Even more difficult, to be fair, because the whole point of yoga is intentional recovery,
Yeah.
and it's also strength training.
Yeah.
Just with no weight, but you're using your own body to generate all the energy.
Yeah.
It's incredible. So try a couple of them and see how that works. But
Okay.
you want to recover well before you hit the gym.
Yes.
You do.
And one of the last question I have for you is, what other areas do you think that technology hasn't touched that we?
For well-being. Very interesting question. Very, very interesting. I have to think about that one. Because right now, I'm enjoying, so if I think of wellness, I think of fitness, I think of nutrition, I think of rest and recovery. That's how I teach it. And those three areas are covered. I'm sure there's going to be more innovation.
Definitely.
But for now, there's nothing. Maybe sleep.
If
If you get a sleep, there's sleep. I think I'm not
sleep,
using
yeah.
the app as
Oh,
much.
I use the sleep
I don't.
app, right? And that's why my phone goes. So at 10 p.m.,
It shuts down.
my phone shuts down.
Awesome.
My phone
Is it not
shuts
the
down.
D&D one?
Till not even the DND
The
one.
sleep
There's a sleep.
Focus.
There's a yeah. There's the app. Yes.
Focus.
I
Yes.
have that, but then all it does is put it on D&D for me. I'll still be
My phone is down because I wake up in between, right? So in most cases, once I turn into hours, I pick my phone. I'm on my phone for like 30 minutes, and then I go back. So I noticed that, and I noticed that my sleep pattern was just really messed up. I just when I started using that, and it has helped me. So when I pick up my phone, sometimes I have to go through that whole process of trying to put in my password, and it's a long.
So
I just
it's a deterrent. You just
yes,
drop
I
it.
just drop it, and I noticed that I don't sleep longer at a stretch.
And
Yeah.
I think one thing I would like to we just mention about that hasn't touched maybe a more fun community. Because I was thinking of having a community that would just challenge. Because right now I'm doing a challenge, a squat challenge in a group, and I'm saying let's do 50 squats the first 2 weeks and 100 squats the next 2 weeks. I feel like an app that just gets us charged to get excited. Maybe that would be fun.
Yeah.
Not really compete because we don't need that kind of stress. However, just a place where you can see what other people are doing, stay motivated, chat up on maybe other things about life aside from fitness. Just something fun. It can be quite serious with wellness, well-being.
I think they should do like AI therapy.
Do you know that I was just going to say, right? I was going to ask Tochi. So two questions. I was going to ask. How do you think? So right now everybody's talking about there's plenty to talk about AI. So what role do you think AI can particularly play in like maybe personalized fitness plans, right?
Right.
Do you think AI has any role that it can possibly play in that aspect?
I think my challenge with fitness plans is that personalized fitness plans require some type of interaction. So I'm sure in the future AI will develop to that point. I'm sure it can.
There's the one on Snapchat where you can chat with the person with the AI.
My AI.
And I saw
ask questions.
I saw some screenshot someone had posted about some guy saying, he's a terrible person, these are the things he has done. And the AI was just trying to say, you know what, it's fine, people make mistakes. And it was just, so I'm not thinking, if you're a person
with weight loss, I've worked with over maybe 150 women in the last year. And people want personal conversations. And sometimes it spills into other areas, not just fitness. I don't know how AI will take care of that, but let's see what they do.
I like that at the beginning of the conversation you talked about how you're big on education, right? Because I agree. If people don't know, there's nothing you can do about it, and there's no way there will be any form of improvement as well. But then I was also going to ask, do you have any insights as to how technology can maybe improve accessibility to maybe health resources or health information?
So the challenge, the way things are structured now, a lot of high-tech papers and research, they're actually paid for. So you might get the abstract, the page 1, and then they'll get your appetite for the rest. So even on the Harvard, I've taken maybe like 6 courses now. It's not free. They'll give you a page. Oh, learn this. You get excited, you click. So just pay your $40, $100. So by the time you pay that, which is why I do as work. So I have to
spend money.
I keep spending money. So for that you will get information, but generic stuff. You want deep insights. You might want to. You might have to part with some money. You might have to. You have to part with some money.
Flo is even asking you for money every other day.
Exactly.
For 3,900.
Exactly. Because those researchers, it's their work.
Of course,
it's their work. It's how they also take care of their families. So.
I have a question. Did you see how I was like, I was just holding my breath. I think that was an interesting question you asked. I want to expand it a bit more.
Okay.
So when you're talking about, we know that tech is the future. Tech is here to stay. Yes, tech is here to stay.
And we love tech, don't we?
Yes. I love that it's intergenerational in terms of, even our hospitals, although we still have a long way to go. So my question is, what would you say are the opportunities in the value chain for people, especially in the lifestyle field, and who are also leveraging tech? What opportunities are available?
Oh my goodness, there's so much. I was looking to create an app for Niger meals, to grade our own foods, because right now we're using the stats from not our foods. So I wanted to have something, and most of my meal plans are actually 100% Niger, because this is where I live. This is what we eat.
Reality.
I will not be giving a meal plan that has someone said cauliflower rice. I'm like, you know how much a bunch of cauliflower is. So that's an opportunity for more of us to focus on everything Nigerian, how we can take care of our own people, because a lot of the information out there is not for us. Also, I'm going to do it next year. I'm going to shoot I want to see what foods are available in all parts of our country, in our stretch, because one time I wanted to try out being vegan, and it was hard to find enough protein that wasn't animal protein. But I've also researched a bit of the food from the north and from Jos, and there's so much of other sources of protein that we don't even eat in Lagos.
Yeah. Do you think tech could? Sorry to.
No. It's fine.
So I recently came across. I was doing some research, and then we have so much food,
We do.
but we only eat
Rice.
Yeah.
And we only eat highly processed food.
Why?
I was in the market a few days ago and I saw a fruit. I said, what is this? They called it a berry, something like that. I don't know what they called it. It was a name that I couldn't. I wrote it down somewhere.
Yeah.
And I thought, he said, oh, it's very good for high blood, to manage blood sugar and all of that. If you go to the fruit market in K2, they're not. We're only having pineapple and watermelon on this side. There's so much. There's so much. I saw one tiger fruit. I had that last time. Didn't taste too good, but it was a fruit. Yeah. So I want to create that awareness of what we have in abundance in Nigeria. So I'm hoping to be the one that does it. But yeah, that's the way that we can use tech. So create those things and then put them on the app, or so you can just research accessibility sake. So yes, there's so much we haven't done. You know,
I mean, it's not a mistake that we'll have to touch you on the show. She's really educated or so good. But yeah, I mean, as it is with every good thing, comes to an end.
Yes.
But then before we go, do ensure you follow us on Instagram at PlusTvAfrica. You can interact with us further, drop a comment, and most importantly, follow all our social media engagements. And remember to like, share, comment, and invite your friends and family to watch us and follow us. Tochi, thank you so much for coming on the show with us tonight. I mean, we're definitely going to bring you back.
We have to, you know, we always have to continue.
Thank you so much, Amola. Thank you. Amola, it was good to have you, not behind the scenes, but right here in front of the camera.
Yeah.
That's our able producer, by the way, just so you know.
Good to be here.
Thank you so much, Mary, as well. If you missed today's quote, here it is again. Fall in love with taking care of your body. That's like maximum.
Period. That's
Fall in love with everybody.
Gen Z.
I'm 30 plus trying to be Gen Z. Okay, it was quite an amazing show tonight. Make sure you enjoy your weekend. See you same time next week, Monday. Have a great weekend. Bye.
Bye, guys.
I was pushed to the point that I had to start something not numb. And I'm a big risk taker and I enjoy doing things that nobody really does. I wanted something different from every other art form that has been pushed out there. I didn't have that fulfillment in what I was doing and I really wanted to express myself more as an artist, and I decided to resign and go into practicing art full time. I loved subjects that had illustrations or drawings in them. I just kept pushing it and went to the extent of studying art in school. So I tried to pick colors and I proceed to the main piece. A friend of mine told me like there's really nothing that could be achieved with graffiti here. The piece behind me is titled Bold Steps. So I'm just trying to put my own as an abstract journey of African fashion has come so far. The word there is Ikeakpa. Ikeakpa is a Bini word for movement. So we are it's just a movement, and we have the shoes here which shows the flow and the storm which the movement creates while working. I'm also 7. I'm an African urban artist and design consultant.
Hello and welcome to One on One. My name is Fumi Onajefe, and today we'll be talking about road safety in Nigeria. My guest is Assistant Corps Commander Sani Abdullahi. He's the unit commander for Lekki Command of the Federal Road Safety Corps. He has an MSc in Defense and Strategic Studies from the Nigerian Defense Academy, Kaduna, and BSc in Political Science from the University of Abuja. He has experience in the FRC. He has served in various positions in the Corps, including Staff Officer Operations, Head of Protocol Unit at Kaduna State Sector Command, and Media Assistant to Corps Marshal. He has been the Unit Commander for the Lekki Unit Command since August 2021. Welcome with me. Good day, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for making our time to join us today.
I appreciate the platform.
Okay, so let's talk about your growing up. What was growing up like for you, sir?
Oh, God. Thank you very much. I happened to be born in Ajobe.
Okay.
That is somewhere in Ankpa local government area of Kogi State.
Okay.
In the 60s. I'm a grandfather now.
Oh, congratulations. Yeah. That's nice.
And as it was at that time, a child growing up was, first of all, a Muslim child.
Yeah.
First of all, start with Quranic school.
Okay.
I completed my Quranic school, and as I was completing it, I started the primary school.
Oh, okay.
Ending my primary school, I went to Tenka school. From Tenka school, knowing that I didn't have so much play with tools and working with electrical instrument that I read. I had to go and do my external GCE, which I passed.
Yeah, okay.
After which I went to University of Ibadan Adult Education Center, got my advanced level GCE. From then I proceeded to the University of Abuja. After which I joined FRC, and all the long, here we are today.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. Thank you very much for that.
Yes.
So let's talk about, so every time Road Safety Corps or, policeman or even LASMA, but usually it's the Road Safety Corps members that check my car. So I have a fire extinguisher, I have a C caution. Well, they usually let me go when they just check my papers, really. Okay. But I just wanted to find out, is there any other thing, even if the Road Safety Corps member is not checking for it in your car, what are the essentials that a car owner should have, whether a commercial bus driver or a private car owner? What should they have?
Thank you for that experience. The idea of we now delving into checking those things because of the consequences of not having them. They look basic, but definitely they are very, very important.
Okay.
So even if it's not for checking, in your own interest, in your own safety interest, you should have those basic things. For instance, when they check something like fire extinguisher, it looks, many people forget that fire extinguisher is as important to you as the vehicle you are driving. Because in the event of any fire accident, that 10,000, 5,000 naira fire extinguisher could save the whole of your millions of naira vehicle.
Okay.
People misunderstand it. The triangular warning sign, the C caution.
Yes.
Yes, as minor as it is, as minor as people take it to, you discover that if your vehicle breaks down suddenly on the road, you cannot move away from the road. You have to walk on it there, put it at the back, where people that are coming will be warned that a stationary vehicle is in front. And anybody who did not observe that and still run into you, cannot say that person is guilty of not being diligent. You understand?
Yeah.
And you look at issues of a light sign violation, like your trafficator, your full headlamp, your brake lights. These are things people take for granted. They believe that they don't need it. But we also know that these are minor things that people overlook, but are very important. So when they check all these things, and they also come to the issue of, let me look at your extra tire.
Okay.
Yes, you will think that you are safe when your tires are functional, you are moving, but not knowing that in the event of that tire, getting punctured, you need another one, which you may not get. And the place this happen may not be the place where you can keep the vehicle. Go and look for the tire to be the one that you are using to be repaired before you now join it. All these are things that are measures. You may not use them, but when you need to use them, are they available? So these are the basic things that.
So how often? So if I buy a fire extinguisher, how regularly should I, change it? Does it expire? So is it until I use it, or it's just there in my car?
It expires, and the expiring days are there.
Okay.
So if you have fire, many people we have seen, majority of them don't even know how to operate it. But it's not something you need to go to school to do. Or read the instructions. They are normally put there. And you may buy it just like tire too. Tires are like drugs. They also expire.
Okay.
Many people don't know that the tire you are using also have expiring date. They are there. But many people don't look at them. Therefore, they just believe that they bought new tires. But those new tires have expiring date that might have even expired. You understand? Just like a fire extinguisher too. The fire extinguisher you buy now may look new, or you might have bought it brand new, but it's expired. Therefore, it's still not serve the purpose of which you have bought it.
Okay.
Yes.
So let's talk about education from the FRC to especially commercial drivers.
Yes.
Do you go to their motor parks? Because I see them all the time. So for example, this morning on my way to work,
Yes.
I saw an overloaded food truck. It was carrying food items going to the island, and this little was not a very big truck, was tilted to the other side and moving at a very slow pace.
Yeah.
So I wanted to find out, beyond just arresting them on the highway, do you go to their motor parks to educate them, to talk with them, even in the markets, open places?
Yes.
What does the FRSC do to educate these drivers?
Thank you. You see, FRSC management, in its wisdom, directed all the field operators that every morning, from units to the sector, every operational base of the corps, you must go to garages.
Okay.
Talk to the driver even before they set out for their daily activities. Talk to them on the need, first of all, to make sure they check the basic items, tire, water in their vehicles, wiper, and other basic things. And the need for them not to do some certain, engage in some certain traffic violations, like you have mentioned, overloading. The consequences of overloading the vehicle. Because when you overload the vehicle, you are not only overburdening the vehicle, you are creating the opportunity for you not to maneuver in the event of any incident. Because you are reducing the lifespan of that vehicle through constant overloading. So we put all this information to them, though we may not reach everyone every day, but as much as possible, we use all platforms, media platforms, part of which is what I'm even doing here now. Social media, mainstream media, motorpark rallies, conferences.
Oh, you have motorpark rallies?
Of course. It's part of what FRSC is known for.
Okay.
We organize motorpark rallies, and in fact, as we are going to the Ember Month now, you are going to be seeing the FRSC flagging off the campaign through motorpark rallies.
Okay.
Motorpark rally is one of our daily assignments, or common assignment that we carry out as a way of enlightening, updating, and educating the drivers on what to do and what not to do to avert road traffic crisis.
So now I am interested in those multi-park rallies that you talk about.
Yes.
What about the trailer parks? Because everybody in Nigeria knows how, and you are the FRC official who will have all the rates and
Yes.
how often trucks that carry containers,
Yes.
the heavy duty vehicles,
Yes.
how often they have their accidents.
Yes.
For the minutest of things, sometimes it's as bad as a friend of mine, her car was, thank God she had insurance
Yes.
for one of those heavy duty vehicles, and his brake was bad.
Yes.
And he would just say, Madam, I beg, no vex, my brake no catch. And I'm
Yes.
like, I don't understand.
Exactly.
So if you go to the trailer parks and you go to the motor parks and you have all those rallies, how come with this incidents are still on the increase?
Yeah, it's unfortunate. We are living in a third world country where safety is always put at the back end. We don't take it to the front end. And it's part of the challenges that FRSC has to face. Before the establishment of the Corps in 1988, Nigeria was rated as one of the worst nation to drive motor vehicle on. And coming from that, you will see situations whereby when road traffic crises happen, Nigerians believe that it is an act of God or evil spirits. Fatalistic belief that don't attribute those causes to factors that scientifically are known. So we have to battle with that to create the impression that road traffic crises don't just happen. They are caused. And they are caused by factors that we know. And if we play by the rules, if we abide by those rules, we have confidence and trust that accidents will not happen. And even if they happen, they will not lead to death or fatal injuries the way we are seeing it. This has been the center point of our campaign all along. We are not getting over yet. We specifically look at the menace of vehicles falling. Let's say tankers falling, and articulated vehicle not properly hooked, also falling and causing hazards. We have had cause to engage in aggressive education, enlightenment, and enforcement. Part of which was even the issue of the minimum safety standards that vehicles, articulated vehicles, will meet up before they can be said to be operating on the road.
So what are the minimum safety standards that these vehicles should meet up?
These are one of them, as I speak to you now.
Yes.
We have those that load, because when cases of petrol tankers falling became too much, FRSC has to go into the questions of safe to load. That is physically deploying our men who stay at those depot and ensuring that whichever vehicle that will be made to load must have some basic things like the brake you are talking about.
Yes.
The brake must be functional. The lighting system must be there. The tires, and the driver himself must also have evidence.
But how do you ensure, for example, so it's one thing that your official is there.
Yeah.
So what if he flags the vehicle and says this vehicle cannot go, but they still go ahead and get on the road?
No, because we are there in cooperation with the management of those depots. Therefore, whichever vehicle we identify not fit to load cannot load.
So what happens when this vehicle? So what about vehicles that now have accidents? Do they go back and trace it maybe to your FRC officials? Because we are in Nigeria, and sometimes officials can get compromised.
It's possible that, when we talk about accident, if it is a real accident have dimensions.
Yes.
It's possible that what has happened was something that was unavoidable. But if it's something that was a result of somebody's negligence, it can also be traced. And I think we don't have such cases of a vehicle certified to have to have been, safe to load it and went to have. But of course, there are other places or areas probably which we have not covered and which those people could get all those items. And it could happen that way.
All right.
But definitely to cover the major ones that are engaged in this, we'll make sure that our men are there. And so far, that is why you are able to see reduced cases the way you are seeing now.
Okay.
If not, in 4 or 5 years back, you know how it was in this country, where you're hearing of it happening here, it's happening the second day, and so on.
Okay.
It's a continuous effort.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll take a quick break. When we come back from the break, we'll be looking at, December, the festive season is upon us, so we're just going to be looking at, all the safety measures we all need to take, especially with commercial vehicle drivers. Please stay with us. We'll be right back. Thank you for staying with us. This is One on One. If you're just tuning in, my name is Fumino Ajefe, and I have an FRC official with me today. So let's talk about now the festive season is, we call it Ember months in Nigeria. Yes. September, October, November, and then December, the mother of all festivities in Nigeria. So how is the FRC preparing for this? And let's first of all talk in line with commercial drivers. We'll start with Lagos, for example, where we have the yellow buses. And we know that for anyone who has ever entered a yellow bus in Lagos, that seat belt doesn't really fasten. It's only most times when they see the FRC officials or last mile officials that they quickly just, put it on. So we're talking about going to their motor parks to educate them, but consistently, this young man, I know there was a time not so long ago, the sale of alcohol was banned in the motor parks. So what is the FRC doing about commercial drivers and safety of passengers?
Thank you. It's an issue in Nigeria where people maybe get up in the morning or they didn't sleep well, they want to artificially enhance their energy going through alcoholic or drug intake to keep them awake, and thereby making them to engage in acts that are hazardous to their life and the life of others. Like you mentioned earlier, that is why, in collaboration with relevant agencies, the sale of alcohol and some drugs within the parks were banned, so that at least the access to them could be restricted, and so that we can also be sure that whoever that is driving vehicle that we come across are not people that are under the social influences of illicit drugs, because we know the consequences of being there. What we are seeing in terms of people not understanding the benefit or adherence to the requirement for seat belts is the way it is in Africa or in the kind of society we live in, where education is very limited. I know when we started the campaign for seat belts, which is not even too long, majority of the people don't even know what the seatbelt is all about.
Oh, yes.
And they have never used it. They don't even know how it is. We even have to struggle with teaching people how seatbelt. Since they started using it, we are seeing increased level of compliance. There are still some people that have still not key into it, but definitely improvements are obvious. That people these days now know that it is in their interest that when they are seated in the vehicle, either in the front or at the back, the seatbelt, because of the safety aspect of it, because of what the safety benefit of using seatbelt. We have said it before that overloading your vehicle, you are not helping yourself, and it is most common during this Ember month, during this December period, where many passengers are available, and the driver want to maximize the profit, the benefit by trying not only to overload, but also to overspeed, to speed to a level where they will go and come back and go and come back as many times as possible, so that they can drive. And the consequence of it is accident, crashes that could lead to death or fatal injuries, and ending people's lives in a manner that could be avoided.
Okay, let's talk about the fact that there's a time that the FRC, the federal government, your organization wanted your officers to carry firearms. At that point in time, how far has this gone? Because many people, even I kicked against it. I'm like, already with the policemen, we have so many issues. And then FRC officials, you have also seen videos of where some of the times, and I understand sometimes it can be frustrating. You're correcting, a motorist or a passenger and they're misbehaving. You get emotional. You're jumping on their vehicle. So what happens when you now have a firearm? You shoot the person down. So how far with that? Has it been put down, or you're still carrying on to having firearms?
Okay, I think your opinion, people with this kind of opinion is why FRSA management has not been too aggressive in pushing for that arms. Because immediately, in fact, majority of us have gone for the training.
But why? I wanted to find out, why do you need firearms?
No, we are also vulnerable to violent attacks from not drivers or motorists, but also from armed people who may want to attack us, or violent people who come with arms, and we become defenseless. We know over the years that the law that established the corps made provision for FRSC personnel to bear arms, but the fact that we have been able to enforce this law consistently for over 30 something years without that arms. Anytime we stress the need for us, based on the experience our men have on the road to just armed attacks, the public opinion will want to say, no, we don't need the FRSC to, and that's why government has been very, very reluctant. Outside that violent attack that our men are subjected to sometimes, and invading our offices where we become defenseless, we have been successful in using civil means to really enforce traffic rules in Nigeria. And even this debate came during the last National Constituent Assembly, during one of the assemblies, where one of the members was asking the Corps Marshal then, that is there any nation that you can recall that can enforce law without arms? And you really may not have that examples, you understand? But we, in our own case, we have been very, very successful in enforcing laws without recourse to arms, to use of arms. And that is a very good example that Nigeria is having. Despite the violent nature of the environment and the people with whom we have to enforce this law, at least we have been successful in enforcing the law without recourse to the use of arms.
All right, fantastic. We just have a few more minutes to wrap up. I just want you to give a message to the motorists on the road. What are the things that they or what are the things or one thing they need to know to ensure their safety on the road?
Thank you very much. First of all, when you operate with the cautiousness that your families are waiting for you, you will not even need a law enforcement officer to restrain you from speeding, to make sure that you check your vehicle well before you enter it, and that as you are driving, you are not driving alone, you are driving and sharing the road with other road users, and that your action, or the action or inaction of others, your lives will not depend on source, that you have responsibility to be defensive in driving, and making sure that you don't overload your vehicle, you don't overspeed, your lighting system are functional, your tires are properly inflated, not